Hey there, we are live from the Javits Center for ToyFair 2018. We are in the DC Collectibles booth showing off some really amazing collectibles. And right here I've got Jim Fletcher, and you're going to show off some amazing stuff. Jim, how's it going?
That's awesome. Thanks for getting here so early.
Of course.
Just beginning.
Yeah, we've got tons of stuff. So what do we, well, I guess we're going to just walk around and we'll talk about stuff, and I'll ask you a whole bunch of questions and see what kind of cool stuff we got.
I'll give you a whole bunch of answers then.
Sounds really good. All right, so right here we've got a bunch of Batman the Animated Series figures. Now, we've seen this Batman before, but this Joker is brand new, right?
Yeah, Joker and Harley Expressions packs are great. So the Joker is out coming out in spring, so around now. So pretty exciting. So he's got a bunch of stuff. What's fun about this toy is, well, as you can see, there's a bunch of the different expressions you can get in the face. He's got a maniacal laughing face and a kind of a sad face. Well, mostly maniacal faces because it's the Joker. But what's cool about this is that there's an episode where he actually does a robot Joker.
Yes.
So he actually, you can take this suit and there's, I can't see him from here, but there's actually a set of robot hands. So you can turn him into robot Joker or his regular purple suit Joker with, gotta have the duck accessory.
That's pretty amazing.
The bang gun, the little Joker face gun. So we're really excited about these expression packs. What I like about these a lot is you can actually change your mood with your toy every day.
Right.
So you're sitting around, maybe you're not feeling so great, so you put on, maybe this grumpy Harley face. But then the next day your boss is getting mad, so you give them this face. But they don't have to know you're in a bad mood, but your toy does.
See, that's the trick. It's secret. I see right here you've also got a really cool diorama, of course, showing off a lot of these figures. Yeah. And I see, of course, the half-fish costume. That comes with the Harley, right?
So good, yeah. So you can use this as a half-fish costume or as a finger puppet, I guess. So it basically slips right over Harley. You can see her eyes peeking out through. If you can see them, I don't know. But this is like my favorite accessory. I mean, I never thought I'd be making toys and getting to make this.
It is one of the most ridiculous things you could possibly try to make.
It's a good microphone cap, I think. I don't know if that's going to help
I think it's great. And then you can really see the eyes there.
Can you still hear?
Yeah. Oh, good.
Well, we can leave it on for the whole interview. So, yeah, what's fun about Harley? She has roller skates. She has that fish head. She has the Joker baton. Even a smoke cloud that comes out of the gun.
I like the smoke cloud a lot. That's a nice touch.
Yeah, where we're going with the line right now, we're over 40 figures in. So we want to see how do we make. Now we want to go more immersive. Like we made the Batmobile. We made the Bat plane that's like the size of a table. We made a whole Bat cave.
Yeah.
And now doing these, it really gets you like you can really get in there and recreate stuff from the movie. So we're really excited about the expressions pack line. Yeah, this time.
Oh, and we've lost Batman. Well, I guess Joker wins today.
He did miss the pit. So obviously he was doing something. He did not fall in the pit. So Batman still got it. Yo.
He is okay. The Cape Crusader lives to fight again. So
but unbowed.
Now we've got a bunch of these Artist Alley figures. Now these are really cool because they're, of course, artist-centric. Yes. So what can you tell us about these?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Okay. They're well, cool. They're pretty to look at. That's all you need, right? It's statue.
So DC Collectibles, when we first were our inception, our whole gig was to make artist-centric figures. Right. So this really harkens back to the beginning of what Collectibles is all about. Now we literally Artist Alley. We've been walking up and down it for years, looking at artists. I mean, so we went and found people we thought had a funky, different style, a new point of view, probably stuff that they wouldn't necessarily use in editorial stuff. So, I mean, I've known Chris Uminga for a long time. I never quite knew what we could do with him. And we finally said, look, why don't we just try this thing? And there's a lot of these people also tied to the vinyl designer community. Right. And we want to just branch out and do a whole new thing. And it really resonated great. So we're super happy. It goes all the way from Newligan, who's kind of got this graffitiist kind of hip-hop thing. Everybody's got these cool sneakers on. To Chris's stuff, which is really, it's been out there for a long time, a collector favorite. And Shomarase has this beautiful flowing work that's just gorgeous to look at and paints up really nicely. Actually, premiering at the show, right down here, are the holiday variants of show stuff. My only regret is they're not peppermint scented because they look like they should be. So I just wish they were, but they're really cool. We have a black and white version of Newligan here, and there's a black and white of Chris Uminga. The Newligan ones are cool. It's just straight up black and white. They're not black, white, and gray. And Chris's stuff lent itself more to that because of his style. Yeah. There's a little more shading. This is the actual packaging for the toy. So you've got a big picture of the artist work on the front. There's going to be a card inside that if you can pull that and get them to autograph it if you can find them. A little print of their artwork. Obviously, the toy will be where there is nothing at the moment. And then there's why we're doing it and a description of the illustrator. Yeah. So We're super excited about this line. There's so much good stuff coming out of this, and you know, if we're coming to Artist Alley, look for me or one of my guys, because we may be looking for you.
Ah, see, that's the real hook. Is it's a two-way street.
Could be anybody.
But I love that about that. You know, one of the things that I do is I collect a lot of Flash collectibles. But what I love is I like to collect different incarnations of it. So I have the Ed McGuinness Flash figure. I've got the Michael Turner Flash figure and stuff like that. And I like all the different interpretations because I think it helps to diversify your shelf lineup a little bit.
It's really fun to look at, and those were great toys to work on, actually. That McGuinness line was great. That went on for a long time.
I think I have the entire McGuinness line, actually. I have at least 3/4 of the line. I went really far on that one.
After this, let's compare notes and see how many actually. I think I've got all those too at this point. There was a couple of randos at the end there. Do you have the Joker and Mr. Mixie?
I don't, but that one was really cool. I think that was, what, like wave 4 or something like that?
Like wave 8.
Okay.
That was wave
Then
8.
maybe I'm confusing the waves, but I remember that one because I remember the figure, and I remember I was excited because it's the rare Mixie figure. You don't get a lot of
We
Mixie.
have not made a lot of those, yeah.
So over here I see that we have the brand new, and I know these were just announced, the Teen Titans, new Teen Titans statue line. So what can you tell us about these?
So these are super exciting. George Perez was really happy when we came out with this thing. He saw them right before we painted them. He thought they were great. What's really fun about these is you can piece them all together and make the cover of the famous first issue. They start coming out in summer and they go all the way till winter. So throughout the year they'll be coming out, and you can. It's a build a statue. The bases don't snap together, but they actually butt up against each other. So at the end of the day, you can recreate them all just like the cover is. I think the most fun one of these to figure out was how to get the Beast Boy sculpted.
Okay.
Because how do you sculpt the transition from one thing to the next? That's what we came up with. And with George's style, luckily it's really clean and crisp. We were able to come up with a way to actually make it look really cool.
Oh,
there were a couple interesting versions of that, and we're like, that's not really right. So.
Yeah, I definitely love it, and I like that they're actually every single one of the figures, because you know, for these collectibles, they're classic incarnations, but maybe people have particular favorites. So I feel like this is a really good way that, oh, well, I'm a Flash guy, so I want the Kid Flash statue, but I don't feel pressured necessarily. I'll want to because it's great, but
and they're all standalone, so they work. If you just want that statue, then great. Yeah.
And then down below, I see that we have the brand new black and white editions. That now the Becky Cloonan, I believe, that was announced last summer. Yes. But the Gerard Ways and now this Greg Capullo Man Who Laughs, that's brand new.
The Man Who Laughs laughed his way in here from someone's hotel room this morning, so that's how new he is. Yeah, actually, that's great. That was from a panel from the book that Greg hadn't drawn the whole thing. Okay. So we reached back out. I'm like, hey, man, can you draw the rest of this pose? Because I really liked it. And he's like, here you go. And we got it in here. And John Matthews, who has sculpted like 80 or 90, probably 90% of our Batman Black and Whites, turned it around to get it for the show for you just in time. He knew you were coming. He didn't want to let you down.
Well, that's very sweet.
Like, I know Midtown's there. I got to get it done.
Now, I really like these Gerard Way ones, too, because Gerard Way, of course, has done a number of different books. Now he's doing the Young Animal books, but we haven't really seen much of his art, at least in comic book form. So these are original designs, right?
Yeah. So basically, when this is from a story he has not yet completed or finished yet. So we saw these drawings that he did, and actually that's a map of Gotham City inside Batman's cape. That I can tell you. So he never finished the story. I think it's a very personal story to him, and he said he wants to get back to it. But we had these designs on. He's got this cool indie vibe style, and he did a great job. And John Matthews also sculpted those. So it was really a fun project to work on, knowing how much it meant to him. Yeah. So and he's drawn more. He's drawn like 4 or 5 more characters.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So if these do as well as I think they will, we could do a few more. And we have gone back to Batman Black and White with some artists more than on one character. Yes. We always like to start with a Batman, and then if they do well, we'll do a few more characters, which is really neat.
Yeah, I think it's great, and I know because I'm not huge on Batman. But I like his. I'm a Flash guy, yeah. But I like Batman's supporting cast. So I have a couple of the black and whites that we have seen. You know, they've done like the Scarecrow, they've done Batgirl and stuff like that. So I like seeing stuff like that that diversifies the line because Batman's great, but when you get to have a full set of Gerard Way statues, that's really cool.
Batman has a great supporting cast, and so does Flash. Good rogues gallery.
He's got the best. We need more Rogues collectibles. I'm a little disappointed. I'm looking around. Where's the Rogues statue line, you know? I'm waiting for that.
We talked about that. And as we go around the corner, you'll see a few Rogues showing up, I think. And you'll probably be pretty happy if you're a Flash guy. So
well, okay. Now I've got something to look forward to.
Just went over there and plow through the crowd. Yeah, but Flash, Flash best Rogues, we'll talk. Okay. But you might be right. That's a good one.
So over here we see a lot of the new Bombshell statues. Now these are cool because the Bombshells line has been really successful. I mean, we've seen, well, you guys are at least past 20 statues or something at this point.
You're probably around 30, and the merchandise has been all over the place. So it's gone. This line, when we came up, when we concepted as collectibles, I mean, you can't always predict when something's going to be that big,
Right.
but it blew up way past us. There's all kinds of blankets
course.
and towels. There's a ton of stuff
Yeah.
out there for collectibles merchandise, and we developed it all in house, and it just went crazy. It's a comic book series, and we were really, really happy about the way this thing's been coming out. So we decided to do a deluxe Wonder Woman. Go back to that one. The Batman and Catwoman is great, and that's
one's
that's
really
the
fun. I like that a lot.
It's got the Batmobile keychain that she's actually stealing as she's going in for her alluring Catwoman pose. Beautiful statue, really nicely done. We also did one of the villainesses in the book with
Yes.
Joker's daughter, based on the variant cover over there. So that was a really fun piece to work on.
Yeah, I think, and they look really great. And then, of course, we've got the Gotham City Garage statues, and these have been really cool. I've really liked a couple of them. I really love the Harley one, but I really am digging what's going on with this Batgirl as she's kicking off on her bike. That's a really exciting statue.
That's a really great piece. We also went back and rebranded by adding license plates on them to get the hook across a little more, to make sure that people could relate to what we're actually trying to do with the line. But it's a super fun line to work on. You can see the Supergirl one, she's holding up an engine block. So we're going to test it out to see if they'll work without a whole motorcycle, just so we can get more of them out there instead of one a year at the end of the year. Because they're expensive to make. So if we can get them out there a little more, we're going to try. And there's a great comic book series out now too, supporting.
Yes, we read it every week. Well, it does digital and print, but we read the print, of course, because print is the way to go. But it's very cool. And now over here we've got this piece actually terrifies me. This is a piece that unsettles me, and I would be horrified to have it in my house. But of course, this is the Joker, and it's by Rich Baker.
Yeah,
really cool.
Rich Baker's Joker is great. I mean, we approached him about this, and he's obviously a multiple award-winning designer for a lot of different movies, and we actually said, would you want to do something like this with us? And he's like, okay, but I don't want to be art directed because I've done a bunch of stuff, but I always have to listen to somebody. And I'm like, you know what? You do you. Okay. And we'll get out of the way. And he said, okay, then I'm in. So he did this great piece. And yeah, especially if you light it up all nice and creepy, you can really make them look nice and spooky wherever you put the lighting. And the eyes kind of follow you around the room, which is weird.
Yeah. It's really horrifying. Yeah. It's really cool. It's an amazing piece. But this is the kind of thing that I know as a child, my dad had a collection of masks, all these tribal masks he kept on the wall. And those used to scare me. This would have, I wouldn't be here today. I think I would be curled up in a little corner.
Pop culture for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really fantastic. And that's a final production piece from China, so that's what it's going to look like for real. So it's great. So it's also, this is part of our gallery line. We're doing stuff like props and some other things. If you can feel this two-face coin, the weight is pretty substantial.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
This is really cool, and it's got, of course, some really nice detailing here.
Yeah, the scratched up stuff is great. We went with Two-Face's origin date, and in the comic book, the date is from the 20s, the coin he flips.
It's 22.
We decided to celebrate his origin from 42 because that's when he came out. So it's slightly, we had some people questioning why we did that, but that's because that's his origin. So.
Well, and then, then you get the whole weird people are like, oh, but the 2 and 2s, and it's 4s, and then it's not really Two-Face, so this breaks that up nicely.
Yeah. Thanks. Wow. Good follow-up.
Yeah, well, no. Well, in the comics, they just had a big story where they were like, oh, it was Two-Face who did it, but they're like, no, but it's 2 and 2, and Two-Face would never put 2 2s because then it's a 4.
It's 4. That doesn't work.
Yeah. So it's actually really cool. Now, over here, we've got some stuff that's really cool.
Those are pretty cool. That's also
a
gallery piece of this Joker cane, which is amazing. So it's a metal top. We actually designed this in-house as well, and this is going to go back into the books now because they like this so much. So you're going to see this showing up in a couple of stories.
Well, that's really cool. I always liked, because I always liked the action figures growing up, and I always liked the Joker figures that came with a cane because it gave him something to do. Plus, in the video games, you always have like a crowbar and something, but the cane kind of adds variety to it.
Classes them up.
Yeah. So over here, we've got some stuff that we can and can't show you. So one thing we can show is this Michael Turner Supergirl statue. Now, this is really gorgeous, and I think it wonderfully captures the art of Michael Turner, who, of course, is a very distinct and fan-favorite artist.
Yeah, every time we do a Michael Turner anything, people just respond to it really well. Irene Matar sculpted this, and it is just fantastic. I mean, she couldn't have got it more Michael Turner.
You really couldn't.
Yeah, we worked with, with his agent and his estate on making sure this is what he wanted, and they were like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, and it is. It's just a beautiful statue.
And I think it's a great tribute to I think it's one of his most well-known designs and legacies is Supergirl. I think that really stood the test of time.
Yeah, the cover this is from is great. And actually, we even changed up the pose slightly to make it a little more leaning into the viewer
Yeah.
than it is, but it's super representation of what
Yeah.
he's done over the years. And all his covers are great. Even that run he did on Superman.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things he drew during that run where Superman is talking to Big Barda, and they're like kind of like different eye levels, and then he realizes he's shorter than her, so he floats up, and and the whole picture of him, he's slightly floating off the ground to look her in the eye. I'm like, that's awesome. That was so good.
See, this is where I reveal my bias, and I love his Flash covers he used to do because he did a number of different Flash covers for a couple years during Jeff Johns' run, and those were gorgeous. There was, yeah, the Gorilla Grodd. That was, he's great. He's amazing, and
That statue, that's a good statue.
I don't. I remember the statue. They did a couple. You did a couple editions. There was a bronze edition. Yeah, a few. I don't have them, but I kept my eye on all of them.
Okay, we'll
So.
take a look at it in our closet if we still have it.
Okay, great. Now, as we go down, we see that we do have a couple more things here. So this is the new upcoming Greg Capullo metal statue, and it's part of your artist line.
Yep, and there's obviously there's badass Batman,
Yeah.
still doing his thing, but a little more distressed or beat up than maybe normally he appears. But we really want to capture Greg's work on the book for Batman's whole the whole attitude of the book is just. Can I say it's metal or?
Yeah, no, please.
Okay, so I just said it.
Yeah.
So it's such a great aggressive piece of Batman having the two axes in his hand. It's amazing. We were originally going to try to paint it with all those dark shadows, but without the backlighting, it just kind of looked weird. So we painted them,
Well, and
normal, so you can see all the battle damage and everything.
Yeah, and I love the designer line because what I really like about the designer line, I own a couple from the designer line, is that it really, despite the fact that they're all based on different artists, it's got enough unifying themes that I think actually really unite the line.
Yeah,
the rounded base. I think it brings it together, and of course the scale.
Yeah, they're all keeping in scale with each other, and they're all big. They're big pieces. They're all like 12 inches tall, so they're really significant statues, and which is why Red Hood's really cool as well, because we haven't done a big Red Hood anything.
No.
So that's the first one. He's a fan.
Yeah, there's been a couple Arkham Knight collectibles, but this is really cool, and I also love it because it's Kenneth Rocafort, who I think he's an amazing artist.
His design of Red Hood is amazing.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of untapped potential in collectibles with him.
Yeah, I can't say anything about that, but yeah.
Well, good. But yeah, he's great.
His stuff is great. And the candy coat finish on the helmet and everything is great. And this really captured his style because you can see a lot of paint deco in there with this cross hatching and everything else that he does. And he actually drew that piece for us specifically, and we thought it was just great.
That's fantastic. Now, as we bring over, we'll see that we've got a bunch of the mini statues over here. Now, these are cool because they're just iconic covers, and they're great. And they're Brian Boland.
Yeah. So, yeah, we had done a larger one of the Joker last year. We put that one out, and we decided, well, we've never done a Batman, one of our most famous books we've ever published. So we should put a Batman out with us. So we sculpted him at that size, and we reduced the Joker and went back and we did him. And now, so if people, can't spend $150 all the time, these are like $80. So at least we can get back in, and you can get the set of them. Now we added a little Joker card and Batman's slightly smirking face. Yeah. I think they're really great set of statues to support the Killing Joke, which is, what's there to say?
It's the Killing Joke. It's one of the most popular anythings ever. Like literally anything. You look at the world, it's one of the most popular pieces of pop culture.
Yeah, the cover,
so
everything's great.
then over here we've got a trio of Jim Lee statues. Now these are really cool. We've got, of course, Trinity, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman, and these are really cool. We see a couple different designs here. It looks like New 52 for Superman and Batman.
Yeah, so basically these statues, we had a line a while ago, there's a Wonder Woman Art of War and a Superman Man of Steel. So these statues we did at one point, but they were a lot of monochromatic or different color tones. We decided to put them all out in one box set. So they're all going to be sold together as a Jim Lee set. There's a print of his, I think on the bottom, I think it's the signature of his name on the bottom there. Along with our brand of our company. So we're going to be having that come out, and all the colors are matched. And we went back and did some slight retweaking in the sculpt and everything to make him even better. So yeah, that's coming out as a big group of. You're a Jim Lee fan, that's for you. 3 Jim Lees in one box.
See, that's great. And then now we bring it up, and we see that we've got. This is really cool. So this is about as much as you can be on the pulse of what's going on. This is the brand new TV show, Black Lightning. We've got a great statue here.
Yeah, the actor was really happy. We showed him the images early on. He was just like, wow. Chris was just like, that's amazing. It looks just like me. And it really does. That show is really fun. It's on its 4th episode now, I think. It's getting, like that. Yeah, it's got the reviews. It's certified fresh and Rotten Tomatoes. It's a really, really good show and a great addition to the DC TV show stuff coming out. I just wish there were a few more days in the week where there was just another DC TV show.
Yeah, it is really cool, but it's crazy how DC's got like 6 different TV shows now.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
keeping up with them is really hard, but they're all really different. They're all really cool in their own way, and there's more in the works. So we're going to keep supporting them as they keep making them. We'll keep making stuff.
That's great. And now here we'll see. This is really cool. So this is, of course, the Trinity, based on Jason Fabok's art. And I remember a while back when he was posting, he did the original art design to help make this, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we went back and we reached out to him after he'd done like this piece. We had to go back and change it to make it a little more producible as a statue. Yeah. But yeah, he went back and we worked with him on redesigning the whole thing and the base and everything. So works really well. Again, if you want the 3 main characters in your house, you love Jason Fabok, it's not going to get any better than that. So it's a really beautiful statue.
It really is really awesome. So,
yeah, it's pretty great.
And now we're going to swing over, and we've got a lot of really cool action figures over here. So we'll walk on over as
big picture of you, boy, on the wall.
Yeah, makes me pretty happy. And now these are cool. So we'll start up top, and we'll go with these PVC statues. So what can you tell us about these?
Okay, so we've been wanting to do a PVC statue line for a while. It's been since we did an Camullo line a long time ago, we haven't really done one. So I get to design these myself, so that's really fun. I've been here a long time. It's really neat. I'm a big DC guy. We even have our own Joker cane that we made is actually in that Joker statue.
That's nice. That's yeah.
But they've been really fun to work on. They're dynamic poses, and these you knock them off the shelf. They're not going to smash into 1,000 pieces. They're $50, which I think is a really good deal for what they are, and they're all going to have some kind of themed bases. We got Batgirl along with her phone. You got Joker on a big Ha base. Wonder Woman just stepping out of Shield, about to cause some trouble. So, really fun line of exciting, dynamic statues, and they're going to be all core figures. I shouldn't probably tell you that maybe there's a guy you like coming in this line. It's probably a pretty good bet he'll be showing up.
Okay, so basically, I'll keep a little side change ready for it.
Yeah, or you can just email me and ask me where is it already.
Okay.
So that'll be good.
And now we go down, and this is something I know a lot of fans. This was just announced, of course, in the prelude to this week. These are the Doomsday Clock 2-pack line.
Yeah, so really excited about these. You'll notice there's no Batman or Superman in the line right now because we've never gotten to do a line of Watchmen figures. We did one a long time ago, never got produced. Then we did the movie ones, and then, we can finally do a line based on the comics. So we worked with Gary and Jeff on these to make sure this is what they were going to do. And yeah, we put them all into groups of 2, plus 2 of the new characters, Mime and Marionette, that are in there, which is great. So they're really nice figures. I mean, the book's fantastic. These will be coming out by the time the end of the book comes out. These will actually be out in store. So
that's great.
It's one of the rare times we can actually link up with editorial and have stuff out in store while the book's still out. So that's really exciting for us.
Yeah, that's really cool. I know. I'm really excited. You mentioned that you added the new characters. The Mime is great. Yeah. I really like the Mime already. He's such a cool character. So I'm really excited. That 2-pack is happening for me. That's an easy one.
Have gun hands with no gun. I mean, Yeah. That's so good.
See, that's great. See, that's fun. And everybody will be like, what happened to the little gun accessory? Oh, no, he doesn't have one. Yeah.
We thought about making a clear one, but we're like, that still doesn't really do it. So we're like, nope, because they're not clear. They're just not there.
They're just not there. So, and then these are cool, too. So we've got a bunch of the essential figures. Now, these are great. So we see that we've got the new Batman design. We've got the Rebirth Batman, and we've got a Rebirth Deathstroke as well, which is really cool.
So yeah, these will all be Rebirth everything going for now. So we've sculpted way more than we're showing here.
Okay.
So San Diego, when we see you guys again, hopefully we'll see you there. There's going to be like way more of these. So yeah, we're starting out with Batman and Deathstroke. So we're doing like a lot of these are all doing like pairs of foes and villains. So Flash and Reverse Flash over here.
So the ones I'm buying.
Yes, yours are here. So we had to get over. Look, we knew you were coming, so we had to make a big sign for you.
I appreciate it.
After you're done, we're pulling it down. Put the Batman one back up.
He's always taking the spotlight, but now these are really cool. I actually like this down here. This is great. I love that Brainiac. That's my favorite design.
Yeah, the Gary Frank design, I think, from a while back when they had that big, huge techno thing on. So yeah, really nice figures. So these are going to have an Aquaman and Black Manta you have to go with. I mean,
now I don't think I've seen. Maybe I'm misremembering. I can't think of a Black Manta figure since the Justice figure, the Alex Ross one. Yeah. So this is awesome because Black Manta, he's an amazing character. So it's really cool. And, these are out in the fall, I see. So this will be out in time for, he's supposed to be in the new movie, theoretically?
They'll be around that area for that, celebrating a lot of Aquaman stuff at that point. But yeah, what's cool about these figures is they have a ton of articulation, but not only that, they have the best range of motion. So not just there's a lot of articulation, the movement is fantastic on these. We're working really carefully with our factories right now to make sure these are really going to be doing whatever you want to pose them. So I'm super excited. We've been having a lot of fun working this line, and they're back to our bigger scale.
Yeah.
So the Batman animated figures were 6-inch to match the old, like, the old Mattel
the
scale.
old toys,
but these are back to our old normal scale. They're around 7 inches tall. So.
Well, and I like these because one of the things you can immediately tell, you're talking about the articulation, you can see the poses that you guys even have up here, and you can see that it's got obviously the double jointed knees and stuff like that, but it's able to nail a crouching pose and battle poses very easily. So I think you guys are doing a really great job.
Actually, on our Facebook page too, there's a video of this posting of how they can actually move.
Oh, great.
So there's a whole big stream of when we had the gray models come in. We just had 2 of our designers going in, like, brrr, and they just started posing them all over the place. So really fun. We're very excited about this action figure line, and we've always been dedicated to action figures. This is the start of a great new action figure era for collectibles, I think.
I echo the sentiment. I'm really excited because, I mean, I've first and foremost, before the statues, before anything else, I'm an action figure guy. That's my bread and butter. So I'm really excited because I've only got like 15 Flash figures. I need number 16, and I'm looking at them.
Enough.
Yeah. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us about all the stuff. This is crazy. This is like an overwhelming amount, and you're telling me there's more we haven't seen.
Oh,
so
yeah, you have to turn the camera off. Maybe you can see it.
Okay, so good. Goodbye. Yeah, sorry. But thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I know that our viewers love this. This is really great. And there's going to be a lot of stuff, so keep an eye out on Midtown Comics. Of course, we're going to be having all the stuff available on our site. We get all of it. And I'm really excited.
Okay, but wait, leave the camera on. I'll be right back.
Okay. Do-do-do. So this is awesome. And but really, I mean, these are some great collectibles. We'll show off over here. Just take another look at these figures while they're here. And I love it. I actually really love this Deathstroke figure. We haven't seen any collectibles of this Deathstroke outfit. So that's really cool seeing that. And okay, it looks like we've got a hidden goodie coming through my back.
Suddenly, it's
ooh, wow!
It's your ToyFair exclusive.
That's
so
awesome.
So it's based on our artist Alley line. So it's a Christian Minga Batman. It actually even has New York Toy Fair on the back of this thing. So
wow,
there you go, man.
Well,
so
thank you so much.
Coming to the show.
Of course, thank you so much. You guys keep an eye out for all these cool DC collectibles coming out soon, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, thanks for coming.